right. 1, 2, 3. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to RVAsec 2022. Chuck Harold, SecurityGuideTV.com. My next guest, what's your name, sir?
Hey, Chuck. Good to meet with you. I'm Joby James. I'm the cybersecurity lead for Cisco.
Excellent. Now, Cisco is a legacy company. You've been around at least 30 years, right?
That is right. 3 decades and
Yeah,
running.
which is like Smithsonian level in cybersecurity.
That is right. Yeah.
And it's really a giant. I think it's the standard. Because you guys are really kind of first in the space for all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, and it's an undeniable fact that we're a leader in a lot of areas, and sometimes people do not know that we're number one in cybersecurity too. Which the strength that we had from network is what's helping our customers today with cybersecurity.
Right. Now, it's funny you say that. So I don't know much about it. I know more than most of my people in physical security, right? I did a show with you about smart cities 9 years ago, one of my first group of shows, right?
Nice.
And the guys I talked to were like super high-level genius guys, and smart cities was kind of a new idea. And I kept saying to myself, Cisco is in almost every single network in the world has a Cisco product of some kind, right? And I always thought to myself, they have the most data views of anybody. And then you guys, poof, get into cybersecurity. It was just a natural fit.
Yeah, you are absolutely right.
Yeah.
I think, as you said, 80% of the world's traffic actually passes through a Cisco infrastructure, right?
Wow.
So the telemetry, the diversity that we see is sort of unrivaled in the industry.
Well, there's no way you can touch it. And if you're looking at 80% at 30,000 feet, and you're not sharing company data between people, but you're looking in the aggregate of what's going on, that's an unprecedented view. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, eventually that helps our customers protect their organizations better because we're effectively being able to do that ourselves internally.
That's right.
With the data sets that we see.
Give me some of the differentiators here, because everybody says they're cybersecurity experts, and a lot of people just have that one vertical market about the one thing they do, and they do it brilliantly a lot of times, right? But I look at you guys as holistic. You're in everything. You're there. You are the security.
Right. So I would say the main differentiator for Cisco is the threat intelligence organization that we have. And going back to the point that we were discussing earlier, the diversity of the data set that we see around the world.
Right.
We're operating from more than 170 countries in the world.
Right.
So that's a lot of data that we ingest, and being able to digest and analyze threats before it happens to the customers. So the main differentiator is the threat intel organization called Talos. So it's a group of 400 people within Cisco. We're second to NSA in people and quality.
Wow.
All right. So that is...
I feel safer already. If you can only get my darn box here to work once in a while.
So Talos is... we've got different departments within Talos. So they ingest or they analyze threats before it happens.
Right.
We feed that into our solution set, and which actually protects the customer's end of the day. So it's pretty powerful that way.
Now, I've talked to some people about this issue. So data is not intelligence. Intelligence is not intelligence until it's actionable.
That is right.
Otherwise, it's kind of like special data. How do you translate that data into actionable intelligence? You have such a high view of 80% of the world's data. Do you look at it subjectively, objectively? There's got to be a way to do that. It's difficult to It's a poor question, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. So we do that in different ways or formats, if you will. So again, goes back to the conversation that we were having about Talos. So interdiction is one of the things that the team does really well. That is, we're getting in the way with the bad guy trying to do the bad things, right? We're going to catch it before that happens.
That's it.
So we do that in different formats, different things, different algorithms, people, mission scale. We're talking behind the scene things.
Right.
So, I'll just give you a stat. So we're actually blocking 1.8 million malware every day, every single day.
Wow.
And I'm actually not even talking about, the billions of data sets that we see.
Right.
That's, again, going back to the conversation we had earlier, right? The diversity, the telemetry that we're having. That's why we're able to do that and protect ourselves and protect our customers at large.
Now, Cisco was not always in cybersecurity.
Well,
you were because you built secure systems in a way, but when did you actually say, listen, as a business model, we're actively going to participate in this, as opposed to our networks are very secure? Little difference, right?
So I would say that's a journey for us and for customers. Anybody in the cybersecurity space, it's always going to be, that's my motto, it's never an end story.
Right.
There's always going to be a journey. Honestly, we started cybersecurity 30 years ago.
Okay.
Right. We
Fair.
grew, we enhanced, we added portfolios. Now we do have a holistic approach to all things cybersecurity. We don't
Holistic is the right word.
That
Yeah.
is the right word. We don't have this mentality. Hey, I have a problem. Let me create a product. We don't buy into the mindset.
Right.
We want to protect an enterprise, an organization. Doesn't matter what scale you are, right? You can be a small organization all the way to G's and Forts of the world and Cisco.
I probably did have a Cisco modem back in the day, 9K, right? I mean, and that was secure in itself. And so
Right,
therefore, if I'm secure and you're secure and everybody in this room secure, the whole infrastructure and ecosystem secure.
Right. We look at it as protecting users, application,
Right.
network, endpoint, the whole 9 yards.
So what's the message to my cybersecurity people out there who are listening to you? What message do you want to tell the customers that really makes them understand why this is different? Because it is completely different.
First being, it's a holistic, and the main message that I want to leave the audience with today, our customers, is you want to think cyber resilience as a strategy. Don't get into the mindset of, hey, let me plug this hole, and end of the day, we're going to be living with a lot of band-aids, right? So
Right.
think strategically, think holistically, and consolidate where you can, because the threats of the day today, they are unpredictable, right? So you've got to be
Man.
partnering with the organization that are able to do it at scale and protecting themselves.
It's about the
this
scale.
is where our own story comes into play, right? We're operating, like I said, more than 170 countries, and 120,000 people and more, and 2,500 applications. So which company in the world is protecting their own enterprise at that scale?
Right.
So we're able to secure our own. So this is the message that I want to leave with the audience here. To partner with Cisco to protect your organizations better at scale.
Did you hear about that denial of service attack a couple days ago?
What's that?
The new denial of service attack a couple days ago?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not going to get this right, but you can help me out. What was different was they used virtual machines, which turned out to be faster as an attack and more voluminous, and something like, instead of 50 million emails a second, it was 200 million emails. It was like so exponentially higher. Everybody went like, wow. Have we leaped into science fiction? It's almost like that, right?
Yeah, there's always going to be a match between the attacker and the defender, right?
Yeah.
You got to play smart. You got to play a couple steps ahead.
Right.
So that's where the power of Talos comes in, because we're seeing this ahead of the game, so
That's
we
right,
can
before it
plan
gets there, yeah.
before it gets hit our
Right.
own enterprise and our customers' enterprise. So. It's not a level playing field, so we wanted to help customers to embrace the best they can. Working with a trusted partner like Cisco is actually going to get you that end of the day. So
Now, this is kind of a weird question, but
Yeah.
I was a policeman, so I think like bad guys.
that's good. Yeah.
Bad guys, if you have 80% of the market, bad guys are probably using Cisco systems too. It's a probability, inevitability in some degree.
Yeah, so that actually dives into a little technology topic. We're able to detect way ahead of time which infrastructure the bad guys are going to use around the world.
Yeah.
Not locally, around the world.
Interesting.
So we can predict that. This is what's going to happen. This is what they're thinking about. This is what they're planning.
Because they're doing it on your system. I mean, that's the brilliant insight.
Yeah, or general internet,
Right,
which is publicly available to everybody in the world, right?
Right.
So anybody can be that hacker.
Yeah.
So, which we know that, because we know what are the bad destinations in the internet. We see that telemetry, diversity of the data, the people that we have,
Yeah.
the machine learning that we've got, the threats that we block day in, day out. So we see that, we protect ourselves, and we protect our customers.
Did you say earlier that I know there's a millions of threats? Are you blocking over a million a day?
Yeah, we're actually just on the malwares alone.
Yeah.
We're blocking more than 1.8 million
A day.
and a day, every single day, blocking.
Right.
Just not seeing. We're seeing.
You're
a
seeing
lot.
more, right? but-
Seeing more.
Yeah.
And again, end of the day, customers doesn't have to figure out how to make it happen. We do it for customers.
Right.
And when you purchase a Cisco solution, you're purchasing into that threat protection. So end of the day, what we're giving customers is peace of mind. You can go back to your family, play with your kids, whatever you want to do. No worry about cybersecurity. So we take that offload from customers.
Fantastic.
hands.
Mr. Joby, glad to meet you, my friend.
Absolutely, Chuck.
Like I said earlier, Cisco is one of my very first shows, and the first 50 I think I did. I'm up to 3,000 now almost. And I got to say, everybody I've met at Cisco, I went to their headquarters, nice people. Right? And nobody in the company's going around saying, I'm smarter than you. They're saying, we're all teammates and working together. And you really feel that as a customer. You really feel like you have a a friend in the security business, really.
Yeah,
It's a great culture.
Right, that's the message or the mentality that we have between our customers and partners.
Yeah.
We can't do this alone, right? We
That's
need
right.
a trusted partnership between customers, partner ecosystem that is more than 70,000 partners around the world. If we didn't have the trust with customers, we wouldn't be in this business today. Like
That's it.
we're like 30 years and counting, and number one in cybersecurity. So there's a truth to it.
Very good. Back in a minute here at Security Guy TV at RVAsec 2022. We're from Virginia. Thanks, my friend.
Thanks,
Good
John.
talk.
Thank you.
All right. Beautiful.